It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, rife invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so that he may never truly die. Yet, even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets cross the daemon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest amongst his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, bioengineered super warriors. Their comrades in arms are legion. The Imperial Guard encounters planetary defense focus, the ever-vigilant Inquisition, and the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim dark future there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of the thirsting gods. 955.M41. Always wondered what it would be like if aliens landed on Earth, but I never imagined that humans would be the ones in landing spaceships and inviting us on to an intergalactic empire. There was a bunch of priests telling us about the Imperium of Man and how it is led by the God Emperor who we should worship. And there were some weird machines calling themselves tech priests. You kept asking if I've seen an ecstasy or something. I'm not sure because I was too focused on those awesome soldiers they had with them. Whoa. The preacher says they are the Emperor's angels, space marines, and that they are here to find new recruits. Where do I sign up? It was surprisingly easy to get mom to let me go to the recruitment tents. She said she was happy I'm interested in something other than playing games all day, and that she's absolutely certain I won't actually be selected. She also made me take Maddie with me because they asked for ages 3 to 13. I wish they had clarified they preferred us lower on the scale because I looked like an actual idiot standing in line with elementary schoolers. At least Sharag was there, but I still wish Rowdy hadn't chickened out on me at the last minute. The selection didn't go very well at first. The chap plain took one look at me and said that I'm a craven weakling, unworthy of the Emperor's gift. I tested compatible, though, so he promised me the chance for the training to kill me. Manny wasn't, but they still took him to the black ship, wherever that is. Shrug and I were both shipped off for training. 956.M41. This is hell. I couldn't even take the constant exercise, the beatings, the complete lack of human decency, or the fact that I haven't slept more than 2 hours or 3 hours in the last month. But it's not even just that. They cut us. They don't even knock us out before cutting us open and shoving new things where they don't belong. The pain. It's not just our bodies. They're messing with our minds too. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? And that I shall fight and die. What is your duty? It is my duty. I've learned so much, but I've forgotten more. I can barely remember my sisters, brothers' faces. I'd rather die than go through this, but the punishment for failure is even worse than death. 958.M41. I am Brother Gregorius, and we are the Knights of Ultramar. We serve the will of the Emperor from our fortress monastery, Gilliman's Fury, patrolling the entire galaxy for the Imperial's enemies. Brother Shiragius, myself, and many others have succeeded in our trials and accepted our gene seed implants, and we have been inducted into the ranks of the 10th company as scouts. We have received all markings of the true battle brothers, save for the black carapace and our armor. This we must earn in the fierce of battle. Our days in the chapter are spent in constant training and prayer. As a chapter, we hone our skills and unit cohesion to the sharpest of blades which to bisect the Emperor's foes. We live as one so that we may fight as one. We neophytes of the Scout Company when not under the direct tutelage of full brothers of the chapter, carry out our rituals with some distance from others. Yet, we together as one. Though I have many brothers, none have attained my fellowship, such as Brother Shiragius. Bro, these guys look so jacked. Though there are others here from my homeworld of plain viewers, I know Shiragius before my ascension. My memories of those times are fractured at best, but I am certain we were companions then as well. He appears often in the earlier entries of this log. Sergeant Cruster says our squad is being deployed in support of the Third Company soon to purge a Xeno incursion in the invidious Sekar. This chapter of veterans urge caution when facing these Tau. They should provide good challenge by which to prove our worth as Knights of Ultramar. Our squad was sent to infiltrate their lines ahead of the rest of our forces, to judge the Xeno's numbers and to eliminate targets of opportunity. The target was a command post on the world of Danus Secundus, where the Tau organized their invasion of the Agri world. These Tau have deadly weapons, thick armor, and many drones and vehicles. To engage them on open ground would be unaliving yourself. And indeed, in the opening moments of the battle, my squad took 3 casualties, simply moving into position. We flanked a unit from behind a damaged structure and found that they are far less menacing in melee. They pretend to be brave, but when you are too close for their guns to help them, they falter like a candle in the wind. When the dust settled on the battlefield, their commander was dead at the hands of Captain Tiberius of the 3rd, and troopers from the Krieg 83rd Regiment broke through the enemy lines across the world. My first battle and my first victory. The Emperor was watching over us this day. 961.m for 1. By the throne, I hate these foul Xenos. A world-wide route deteriorate into ambushes and counterattacks within days, and their new commanders are nowhere to be found. What could have been a lethal blow to win the war was turned into a pitiful whimper. At least the captain had the foresight to plan around them doing this, though I wish I shared his caution. Shoot! Were I of higher rank, the apothecary would have at least attempted to reattach the arm, but as is all he could do was offer to attach an artificial replacement when we returned to orbit. I tried asking a Death Corps medic, but what they have in fighting spirit, they lack in the art of healing. Can you fix this quarter, master? No, but I can cook it into a nice stew. Nonetheless, years of combat have worn on the Tau, and they are leaving this world in Imperial hands. I leave this world having learned that final victory never comes without a sacrifice. 965.m for 1. Constant campaigns against the Tau within this subsector have taught me many lessons, made me a stronger warrior and a more skilled tactician, though none have been so relieving as a revelation that you need to be the last 2 surviving members of your squad only thrice before your captain recognizes you for promotion. Scout Gregorius, Scout Shiragius, through the duration of our campaigns against the Tau, you have both shown bravery and skill representative of the very best of our chapter. Shiragius, your innate talent within the heavy bolter is on par with the best of our devastators. I hereby approve your ascension to the ranks of the 9th Reserve Company. Brother. Scout Gregorius, you have shown the promise of skilled leadership and tactical instinct, though you have much to learn as a sergeant of the 10th Company. By the Emperor's will, you shall both serve your chapter proud for many decades to come. It would be a lie to say that I'm not envious of Shiragius. Descent from the ranks of the Scout Company with less than a decade of service is beyond rare, nearly unheard of. It is an honor that I shall not receive, despite fighting by his side as he earned it. Moreover, I'm losing my closest friend until I earn my place beside him, in Emperor knows how many years. That is not to understate my recognition, however. To be a sergeant of any squad, even one of the 10th, is on the direct path to leadership throughout the ranks of the chapter. I'll be among the first in line for promotion to sergeant after I spend time as a full battle brother, and the honor of Captain Varric has just given me maybe enough to see me as a captain someday. While I wish no harm to him or any captain or veteran of the entire chapter, I have long waited the day I will see myself in Terminator battle plate, though such a day may never come for centuries. I have been granted my first chainsword, and I require much practice if I wish to use it well. 966.m41. I was only recently introduced to the space orcs, and although I would never like or even respect a filthy xeno, they are a lot better to fight than those blueberries. Greenskins don't play around with shooting you from afar. They just charge right at you and try to kill you with crude melee weapons. War! Hold fast, brothers. Victory is certain if this is all they've got. It was not all they got. They surrounded me, cut me off from my squad, and dragged me, kicking and screaming, back to their leader. Oi, I told you, Gratz, I was hungry for Space Marines, and you bring me this pony thing? It's the biggest, baddest war boss in the skittle, and I want my food to give me a proper scrap. Uh-oh. I had to think fast. I ran through every single word I had ever read on the orcs and I came up with an idea, but I was certain it wouldn't work. But I was told I was being fed to a warbos. You ate a warbos. Yeah, a wee little snotling is the biggest, baddest warbos in the skittle.
Oh, he's got some spirit in him, for sure. It deserves to be a Warbus more than any you've ever lot. If we wins, this will be a proper scrap after all.
I can't believe it actually worked. War boss, war boss, war boss, war boss. I can't believe that actually worked. I started barking orders so there would be no time to challenge me. I told them the orcs find my brothers were trying to steal their kill. I led my boys to attack them from behind. Wah! My orcs were killing other orcs left and right. As soon as I reached my squad, I led them and some guardsmen against both groups of orcs at once. My betrayal and the crossfire broke them down long enough for us to surround and slaughter them. After our victory, I had only just begun the prayer of remuneration when I had the honor of meeting the Inquisitor. I am Inquisitor Gideon Law. This is Interrogator Farrell, and we represent the Ordo Heretics of the God Emperor's Most Holy Inquisition, and we have some questions for you. Oops. For a moment, I reconsidered my decision to not let greenskins eat me alive. Though I have of course seen Chapter Master Cyrus before, I have never spoken with him or even called his attention to my knowledge, and hopes that our first interaction would be on better terms. This heretic not only consorted with Xenos, but led them against his own men. Only when his defeat was imminent did he attempt to slip back within the ranks of the Emperor's men and conceal her say. If the scum represents Chapter's teacher's master, what about this do you find funny? You're telling me this scout's not only best in the orc war boss, but used its own warriors to break the assault? That's hilarious. Let's say. Lies. Space Marine Chapter Masters are one of the few men in existence who can stand up to the Inquisition, and Master Cyrus did it for me without even a moment's hesitation. He cut through Law's lies and sent him and his interrogator out with a thunderous laugh, though he chided me for acting outside the Codex Astartes. He commended me for my initiative and skill. I am to ascend from the 10th immediately, and it seems I have earned myself a new nickname, Warboss.